Hey guys, and boy, this October month sure is boring. Uh, really, school's just kind of is getting on my nerves. It's like essay after essay at this point. So I should probably just sit back and relax with some games. But the problem though is that I have too many games. So I should probably just figure out which one I want to play. I just bought a PS4 like a couple months ago, so I don't know. Maybe I should play one of the exclusives. Let's see, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, The Last of Us. Mm, I think The Last of Us. Sure, why not? You know, the second game is coming out anyway, so why not, why not review it? Hopefully, the second one doesn't get delayed. I think it's supposed to come out next month anyway, so I guess a playthrough should be pretty good. Um, yes, I shall play it, and I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it did take me a while. Not because the game's bad, but because I'm not good at playing video games. Uh, I'm sorry. Okay, The Last of Us Remastered. It was, I think the original, The Last of Us released on PS3, I think, in 2013, and then it got remastered on PS4, which is how I played it. And and if you want me to give you another fun fact, at Comic Con 2013, Sam Raimi announced that they were gonna adapt The Last of Us into a movie. So that's actually how I first heard of it, because I was there at the panel and it was kind of fun. Um, but now they're gonna make it into a show, so it's cool. Okay, so the story of The Last of Us. It's the main story is basically about Joel and Ellie. Uh, Joel is trying to take Ellie from point A to point B, then C, and then D, in this world that is basically kind of post-apocalyptic because of the infected, which in the prologue you kind of see the beginning of the outbreak happening. So what it actually is, it's a fungus that um, it's a really deadly fungus. I think it's the fungus is actually real, but it only affects insects in the jungles, which is kind of creepy. But so essentially, I think it works like it does in real life, where it enters the brain somehow, and then it just starts. You basically lose all sense of control, and you basically just dead. You're an empty husk, but the virus is controlling you with like movement and stuff. So it's not a good day if you get infected. There are different types of infected. There's like runners, which are basically they still look like human. They still look like human, but they're kind of like really aggressive and they do bite and scratch, which it's never a fun thing. But then there's like clickers, which are more advanced versions because they actually have like a bunch of fungus and shit like all over their face, and they look really disgusting. And they're one of like the scarier enemies in the game, and I really hate them because of how many times I died by one. And then there's also bloaters, which I think if bloater if which I really hate bloaters as well. They're harder to kill because a clicker you can just use a shotgun to blast them, or you can use a shiv when you want to sneak up on them. But with the bloater, you basically either need a Molotov cocktail or a what's it called, a fire launcher. It's it's pretty rad, but the bloaters are still pretty aggressive. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Uh, so the big part of the story though is the relationship between Joel and Ellie, which is a very good, which I really like how it evolves through the story because the beginning of the story, Joel's like, I don't want anything to do with you, but then at a point he's like, okay, damn it, I'm stuck with you. We're gonna do this. We're gonna track through the U.S. so you can be taken to the Fireflies, which is a kind of a group of people trying to find a cure for or a vaccine so they can be immune to the spores of the fungus. And yeah, so then through that, Joel gets closer to Ellie, and that's pretty much the whole story, the best part of the game. Um, and it's hard to talk about without spoilers because I don't want to spoil it until the end. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can give you. I'll talk about spoilers later. But gameplay wise, it's third person. Um, you do have your guns and whatnot, but ammo is pretty scary. It's kind of like I wanted to attribute kind of compares like Resident Evil where you have your ammo, but you have to conserve it because sometimes when you run out, you're like kind of screwed. But the difference between that and here is that even if you run out of ammo, you can just try to sneak by. So let's say you're getting to like a room full of clickers, which they react to sound. So most of the time they're pretty much just like vibing, just standing around, walking around, and you have and if you run out of ammo, which I don't think because the shotgun is pretty effective against them. But let's say hiding that, you can just crouch down and just stealthily try to get around them. There's a point in the game where you actually have to do that. You can't shoot at them because it's just too many. But you can also sneak up on them and just have a shiver and a knife, and then you just stab them to death. And that's pretty effective because it doesn't make too much noise because they're they get triggered by noise. If you make a noise, they get aggressive, and then they just all pile up on you, and then you just die 10 times on the same level. And I was getting frustrated. I was like, God damn it. And yeah, so the gameplay is cool because you have that choice where you're like, okay, do I want to use my gun here or do I want to just sneak by? It gives you that cool choice, and I like the different environments in it because you go through a abandoned town, and you go through you go through a lot of abandoned towns, but it's not like you only go through there because you also do go through a dam. You also go through hospital and whatnot, which is pretty cool. Diverse environments are great, especially in a world like this with The Last of Us. And yeah, the game is really good. If you have a PS4, it is a must to play. On yeah, it's fun. I can talk about all the times I died, especially near the end. Near the end, it's pretty great. Which yeah, if you do have a PS4 and you haven't played The Last of Us, play it. It's really worth it. Especially with the relationship between Joel and Ellie. So this is my spoiler free, and now I shall just talk about spoilers. So I think I'll do a cut and then talk about spoilers. So yeah. Alright, spoiler time. Okay, so spoilers, just talking about the endings, more specifically the winter, because the winter part of The Last of Us is my favorite part of the whole game, because in this part you play as Ellie. So okay, so context. In the previous chapter before the winter part, Joel gets impaled, so he's out of commission for a bit. So you play as Ellie, and when you do the cutscene, that kind of is an intro to the level or the chapter or whatever it's called. You see Ellie with her bow and arrow. She's hunting stuff down. Then she runs into a couple guys, and they're like, "Oh, hey, let's trade." They're like, "Oh, we want food. Can you trade us food, and we'll give you medicine," which is something that Ellie needs because Joel he was literally impaled by something. So medicine's not something that you kind of need. So she accepts, and then one of the guys leaves to go get it, and the other guy says with Ellie, and then clickers show up, and then runners show up. So then you go into this abandoned warehouse, and you basically run through it, killing a bunch of clickers and runners to escape them and not die. Well, technically Ellie can't die, but she can still get eaten alive. Actually, now that I think about it. So yeah, so do that. So after they defeat them, the guy you're with starts talking about this guy and this little girl going around killing these what they're called hunters. I think that's what this random group is called throughout a lot of places. And then that's where Ellie's like, holy shit, this guy's not what he seems. So then the other guy that went to go get the medicine, he's like has a shotgun to her, and then she's like, oh fuck. But then I'm gonna call him David. So David, the main guy that she was talking to, lets her go, and she's like she gets the hell out of there. But then she goes to Joel because they're at this random house that they're at, and she gives him medicine and whatnot. But then David tracks her down, and then she's like, "Oh shit!" And then she gets on her horse, and then she's like blasts out of there, which then leads to her going to this abandoned ski resort, and basically she's hiding from the hunters, and who are trying to take her alive for I don't know what. I don't want to say what right now. So yeah, so you're traversing, you're kind of trying to dodge, kill, and also clarify, you only have one gun, you have your bow and arrow, and you have a knife. That's all your weapons. So any weapon you have from Joel, you can't get through here, and you need to get items to craft some stuff. So health kits, I make a bunch. And then after that, it leads to Ellie getting captured, and then Joel is like, and then we cut to Joel, and Joel's like, what the fuck? Where's Ellie? And then he goes to find her, and so we play a little bit of Joel trying to find her. He interrogates some guys, he figures it out. And then we cut back to Ellie, who's trapped in a cage, and then we're in the main hunter's lair, so this their little abandoned town where they commute, where they live. And then David's trying to convince Ellie to join. Ellie says, fuck you. She breaks some of his fingers, and then, then David tries to kill her, then she escapes. So now, as Ellie, you have nothing left. You have a knife now. You only have a knife. That's your only weapon throughout. So then you try to navigate through this town, trying to avoid hunters, and also killing some. I think if you kill one of them, you do get a gun, but you don't have a lot of ammo, which then leads to Ellie to get to a kitchen, and then David finds her in the kitchen, and then the cat and mouse chase where you have to hit David, where you're trying to kill him. So you try sneaking around and trying to stab him with your knife. I do it once. Oh, sick! Because I think with the knife, it's kind of like a one hit for the most part when you're playing as her, but then it doesn't go down. So and then he starts running after you, and then that was one of the most tense parts of the game. Cause I was kind of scared. I was like, holy shit, this guy is running after me with a machete, and then stab him again. So the second time, nothing, and then third time, you both go down because then you get a cutscene, and then you get both knocked out, and there's a fire breaking out. Luckily, at that point, Joel finds them, which, yeah, Joel finds them only, luckily, before David and Ellie, they kind of wake up, and then Ellie tries to kill him, and then David tries to do something to her, which I don't want to say. Which I don't want, but he implied he's gonna do something to her. He stabs him, she's traumatized, she's crying. Joel is hugging her, and he's like, calm down, baby girl, which is important because in the prologue, that's what he called his daughter, who's, throughout the game, throughout the prologue, he's like, it's okay, baby girl, we'll be fine. Like a father usually does. But the problem, though, is in the prologue, his daughter gets shot by some military guys, and she dies. So now, at this point in the game, it's winter, so it's been a while since Joel and Ellie have been journeying together, and at that point is when you realize that Joel does see Ellie like a daughter right now, which then leads to the final part, where they're at the Firefly Hospital, and Joel finds out that in order for them to actually make a vaccine, they're going to have to kill Ellie to get part of her brain, I think, to reverse engineer a cure. And then Joel is like, no, I don't want that to happen. So then now we navigate as Joel through the hospital, trying to get Ellie out. And then he gets her out, and then he kills one of the Firefly leaders. And yeah. And yeah, so basically the game ends with Joel basically fucking over the human race. But the question, though, that I think a lot of people wonder after playing it, and it's something that I want to know, is that is what Joel did justified? Because because I can see both sides. Because at one point, because one point is that Joel basically fucked over humanity to just save one child, but the other point is the fact that Joel has been spending this entire journey with Ellie, and at this point he sees her as like surrogate daughter that he doesn't want to see her die. So it's kind of justified for a parental standpoint. You know, it's like if your child is to be killed, what would you do? Save them, right? So yeah, that's the part of the game that I really like the most is the story and the relationship between Joel and Ellie, and it's sweet. It's a great because by the end you're like attached to these characters, and yeah, that's basically my thoughts on The Last of Us. Let me know in the comments what you think about the game. Also, what do you think about the ending? Like, was Joel justified in doing so? And the second part is coming out this week, and I am gonna play it. I don't know if I will have a review like immediately after I finish it because I do take my time with this, so with these games. So hopefully I do review. I do intend to review it. I have not seen the leaks because I don't want to spoil it. I know that a lot of people are not happy with what they're going for, so I'll talk about it maybe in my review because yeah, so far I'm clean. I have not gotten anything spoiled. So yes, that's my review for The Last of Us. And then actually another question: should I review more games? Because there are some games I have been mostly Nintendo games because I have Nintendo consoles longer than my PS4. My PS4 I've had for a year now, and I haven't really been a lot of games on it. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below, and follow me on social media. I just made a Twitter account. Okay, I didn't make a Twitter account. I've had this Twitter account since I was like 13, but then I saw no point in it, so I just stopped using it. But I am back on it now because of what's going on in the world, and it's funny to read people arguing on Twitter. It brings me joy. So yeah, follow me on Twitter, on my new Twitter. It's find me at Ed's Reviews, usual stuff. Then Instagram I'm on, and maybe join my Discord. I don't know, that server I don't use that much anyway. So yeah, subscribe if you want more reviews from me, and like this video I think, or comment. So yeah, that's it for me. I shall see you guys next time with more reviews. Trying to keep up. I'm rewatching a lot of movies from 2020, so I can review them individually. So look out for that. All right, see you guys.